Fox News.
The Maui emergency management chief has resigned as of yesterday evening, stating health reasons of all things.
Fox Weather's Robert Ray in Maui, where it's still 111 dead, and crews keep searching the wildfire ashes around Lahaina for hundreds still unaccounted for.
There'll be more fallout as this continues, as residents are looking for answers as to what happened, how it started, and why alarms didn't go off, and why their town of 12,000 people is literally gone.
The now ex-emergency management leader Herman Andaya defended not sounding the warning siren, saying they're for tsunamis and would have sent people inland toward the fires. Hurricane Hillary is big now, a Category 4 churning toward Mexico, on track to be a weaker tropical storm when it hits Southern California and moves on up early next week. And Fox meteorologist Adam Klotz worries about flooding.
It is already picking up a whole lot of rain, a whole lot of moisture with it, and that is going to be what really causes the problems. This ultimately running all the way up into the Pacific Northwest by Tuesday morning, winds down to 30 miles an hour.
Former President Trump wants to push back his federal trial in the 2020 election indictment to April 2026, telling Fox Business's Kudlow.
They want to suppress your voice. They don't want you to ever talk about an election. If you talk about an election, they want to put you in jail.
He's canceled a Monday news conference the former president had said would exonerate him in the Georgia election indictment, claiming to have proof of fraud. Instead, Trump lawyers want that included in legal filings. Federal prosecutors want members of the Proud Boys convicted over the Capitol riot to get 20 to 33 years in prison at sentencing later this month, calling them terrorists. The manhunt's over in Houston, Texas for the accused gunman who critically wounded a sheriff's deputy Wednesday. But when they found Taryn Green,
as they began to make entry into the home, they were greeted by gunfire.
Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez, 2 marshals, and another deputy were injured before they arrested Green. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, you're up next.
My throat hurts so bad. There's no way I can sing tonight.
Here, try these.
Vicks VapoCool Drops.
Yeah, Vicks VapoCool Drops has maximum strength menthol with a rush of Vicks vapors.
Ooh, I can already feel it.
I told you. So, you ready?
I'm ready.
Please welcome to the stage. Vaporize sore throat pain fast with Vicks VapoCool Drops.
Wake up, people. You are optimizing every waking hour of your life. From carpooling kids, to work, to friends, and everything in between. You have to get sleep, and a bed that can perform as well as you do. Meet the next generation Sleep Number Smart Bed. It effortlessly adjusts to your shape, position, and movements, learning how you sleep, so you learn to sleep better, night after night. Sleep next level, only from Sleep Number.
It's the biggest sale of the year. Save 50% on the Sleep Number Limited Edition Smart Bed, plus free home delivery when you add a base. Ends Monday.
China is not happy with what President Biden's doing this weekend, meeting with Asian leaders at Camp David. Its foreign ministry says no country should seek its own security at the expense of others and regional peace and stability.
Japan's prime minister and the president of South Korea will join President Biden for a trilateral summit the White House is calling a, quote, new chapter in the relationship. The White House says threats posed by North Korea will be a focus. The 3 countries have run a series of military exercises over the last year in response to missile testing from North Korea. According to the White House, the meeting will also focus on, quote, promoting a rules-based international order and bolstering economic prosperity. In Washington, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
Another American is accused of being a spy in Russia. Gene Spector is facing those charges in Moscow. The Russian-born U.S. citizen's already in prison, convicted of bribery. The U.S. has been trying to free 2 other Americans considered wrongfully detained as accused spies, Paul Whelan and journalist Evan Gershkovich. In a new Fox News poll, 2 in 3 voters believe Ukraine will survive Russia's invasion as the U.S. sends billions in military aid. Another new Fox poll comes as some American students return to school this month.
Nearly half of respondents, 48%, say gender and sexual orientation is taught too much in school. On the other side, the traditional subjects are thought to not get enough time in class. 54% say reading and writing is taught too little. Half believe math, science, and tech don't get enough time during school hours. As for what most in the poll believe should be emphasized in school, 7 in 10 people believe there is too little emphasis on teaching children the responsibilities of good citizenship. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are down after a 3rd straight big sell-off. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. I'm Jim Miller. A downstate judge tossing out several lawsuits challenging Illinois assault weapons ban. Suits filed by former Republican Attorney General candidate Thomas DeVore, who argued the law violated the Constitution. Tuesday's decision out of Effingham County comes after the state's high court ruled last week the ban doesn't violate the state constitution. State and local health officials investigating a cluster of 3 Legionnaire's diseases in Findlay. All 3 reported between July 30th and August 4. The Illinois Department of Public Health staff working with Shelby County Health Department to determine common exposures between the 3 cases. Illinois men's basketball releasing its non-conference schedule for the upcoming season. Illini holding an exhibition game against Ottawa October 20th before starting the season. November 6th at home against Eastern Illinois. Oakland visits November 10th before Illinois hosting Marquette November 14th. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Hey, thank you, Jim Miller. Morning, Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
I am Stevie Jay. This is Greg Solier, brought to you by Carl.
Carl reminds you the back to school and sports physicals can be handled at a location near you. Just visit carl.org.
Gonna get warmer, Mr. Meteorologist Greg Solier. How are you?
I'm all right. Hope you guys are the same on, pretty easy to take comfortable morning around here. By the time we get to Monday morning, things will have changed on these overnight readings with a much thicker and soupier air mass to slowly build across the area. Worst of the heat we think is going to stay over areas of the Mississippi Valley and westward, and already some excessive heat watches into the western end of the state. Thank goodness we have some moisture in the ground now. That should help to preclude the worst of the heat, and here we are into the mid to late weeks of August, well away from the solstice around here, so that as well helps out on temperatures to a certain degree. Otherwise, we would very easily be up in that century mark. Otherwise, the other main weather headlines, I tell you, the first time in 84 years, if things work out correctly, that Southern California around the San Diego area takes a direct hit off of some remnant form, if not strong tropical storm or weak Category 1 Hurricane Hillary. That then will set the stage for some catastrophic type flooding, severe weather, and a very wet weather pattern that'll extend northward into the Rockies, the Continental Divide, and its way westward to the Pacific coast into Washington State and Oregon, where they have been in the midst of a dry and drought-ridden spell too this summertime season. So lots of weather headlines. First time in 84 years there for a direct hit. Last major storm, Hurricane 1858, in the early infancy days of meteorology. 55 now at Willard and Savoy. Later on today, up to about 80 with a sunshiny sky. Clear tonight, 55, sunny warmer tomorrow, up near 85 on a light southeast to south wind. Should make 93 and a hot and increasingly more humid Sunday, 94 Monday, 95 Tuesday, maybe a thunderstorm Wednesday, and again Friday next week. Otherwise, daytime temperatures still in the lower 90s. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Political analyst, author of a book called Counterpunch, conservative political commentator Floyd Brown. Has the sun come up in Phoenix, Floyd? I don't think so.
Well, the sun's not up, but, the radio's on, so here I am with you.
Absolutely.
Good for you. Good for you. Okay, so Fox News poll says a majority thinks Donald Trump did something illegal. Did they ask about, I don't know, Hillary, Stacey Abrams?
I know. Take your pick.
I mean, where's this begin? Where's this end? But they do think this is a political prosecution. I mean, I think people know, Floyd, on the Tapman's Towing phone line, I think they know that this is very politically motivated, and that's why I think almost with each indictment, his poll numbers go up.
So America has cognitive dissonance, okay? They know that, we used to have this notion of a honeymoon period when somebody got elected president.
Yeah.
Donald Trump never had a honeymoon. From day one, the judicial system has been going after Donald Trump. It was, first he was a Russian spy. And then when that was debunked, they moved on to the next thing and launched 2 impeachments. And, why should we be surprised that when he decides to run for re-election, the Washington establishment wouldn't, start trying to put him in jail? And I think that they probably will convict him. I mean, he's going to have a jury of his peers in Washington, D.C., the city that hates him the most. So they'll probably convict him, but he still might get elected president from jail, because I think Americans have had really too much of Washington, D.C. caring only for itself and not for the rest of the country.
It's never been tried, Floyd, but can you pardon yourself?
I think the voters can pardon him by electing him. So I think that's why Americans have cognitive dissonance. It shows, though, the poll itself shows the effectiveness of the weaponization of the judicial system. And one thing I've been saying is that, a lot of Republicans say, why hasn't Joe Biden been held accountable? And, I've also predicted that while they're going to put Donald Trump in jail, they're never going to hold Joe Biden accountable. And the reason is that if they hold Joe Biden accountable, they'd have to hold the whole city accountable because the type of influence peddling that he does and did as vice president is endemic in the city. I mean, you have a revolving door at every level of government. It's not just, elected officials, members of Congress that go from Congress down to K Street and become lobbyists. Every level of government has it. That's why people go from the FDA to Pfizer. They go from Pfizer to the CDC. They go from the CDC to GlaxoSmithKline. This type of revolving door happens everywhere. People go from the FBI out to Facebook. They go from Facebook to another law enforcement job. These revolving doors is how the city is getting rich. There's a reason why the 5 richest counties in America all surround Washington, D.C., and it isn't because government isn't profitable.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got that working for us, Floyd, but I don't know. There's no quick fix there. But essentially, the bottom line is Donald Trump comes to Washington and is really kind of messing up the gig, right? I mean, Republicans and Democrats are both in on this thing. It's just the establishment, and they all get rich, and they got power, and they don't want to ever leave, and that's what you got. And Trump's kind of asking questions you're not supposed to ask, and he's telling stuff you're not supposed to tell.
You got it. That's exactly what's happening. And that's why there's this cognitive dissonance, because Americans know it, but you're right. It's troubling to accept how corrupt America has become. There's been a lot of commentary, hey, we're like a banana republic. Yes, we are like a banana republic. Our government has been weaponized against the people, and it's a hard thing to accept. But we have something that the rest of the globe doesn't have, and that is the U.S. Constitution. Our founders gave us unbelievable freedoms, and we still have those freedoms. And you know what? If we step into those freedoms and exercise those freedoms, America can be brought back from the brink, and I'm actually predicting that it will be in 2024. I think we're going to have a wave election that's going to astonish everybody, and that's why in my book, Counterpunch, I talk about an unlikely alliance of Americans coming back together. And I think that there's a lot of currents that are running under the surface right now. One is African Americans, especially black men. If Donald Trump, through some miracle, makes it on the ballot, he is going to do better with black men than any Republican candidate since the Civil War. There are other currents. Immigrants. The Democrats always want to, depend on immigrant communities. But most of the immigrants that came here, especially the legal immigrants, they came here for the American dream, and they see it slipping away under the force of this huge government. And they're changing also.
Floyd, and before I let you go, what you're saying is true. However, you're assuming we're allowed to speak freely. You're assuming that the Constitution is being enforced because there's censorship going up. YouTube, Facebook, they're censoring people. And people say, well, I'm not going to do that because I'll get in trouble with XYZ because the government's going to come get me.
And what I say in the book is people underestimate the power they have right around themselves with the people they see every day, the people they talk to at the water cooler, the people they see in their normal course of business. These are the people where they have unbelievable power, and we all, to save America, have got to step into that power that the founders gave.
I think this is it. I mean, I know everybody says this is it, the most important election, but this one is
this one's really real.
This is what I really mean it, kids. Don't make me stop the car. This feels pretty serious from the standpoint of crumbling of our foundational things. And the things we used to depend on, and now we're a little nervous and afraid of it all. And the craziness going on about transgenderism for 6-year-olds and stuff like that, it's just like, well, that's not what we want. That's not what we want. Floyd Brown, how can people find your book, Counterpunch, and connect with you?
They can find it on Amazon or anywhere books are sold, and you can find me at the Western Journal, westernjournal.com, or on Twitter at Floyd Brown.
And so you believe a wave election for 2024 and a sweep for conservatives, I guess, even though I think they're kind of part of the club?
I think not necessarily for conservatives, but for this brand of conservatism that actually wants to step out in power and change all of these problems that we're having in the country, from transgenderism to we're a country that can't win a war anymore. We're a country where a lot of government's been weaponized against the people, and I think the people are going to rise up and make a change.
Floyd Brown, nice meeting you from Phoenix. Thanks for waking up, my friend.
Great to be with you.
On the Tapman's Towing phone line, we check our sports headlines.
Well, New York Mets
John
on
Rooney
top.
at Busch.
Let's just get to it.
The Cardinals lost to the Mets in Game 1 of a 4-game series last night, 4-2. Former Cardinal Jose Quintana went 6 innings, giving up 2 runs on 3 hits, and picked up his first win in 6 starts. Drew Smith, Grant Hartwig, and Trevor Gott finished up, with Gott earning his first save as he left 2 runners on in the 9th inning. The loss is pinned on Adam Wainwright, but Wainwright went 6 innings, 4 hits with 3 runs allowed. It was a quality start for Adam. He walked 3, struck out 2, and allowed a 2-run homer to Pete Alonso with 1 out in the 4th inning. Wainwright falls to 3-8, and Trevor Gott picked up his first save. The Cardinals struck for 2 runs in the 7th inning, a home run by Tyler O'Neill. Jordan Walker walked, went to third on a hit by Kisner, and scored on a sacrifice fly by Alec Burleson. But the Cardinals left 2 on in the 7th. They left 2 more on in the 9th inning, and the Mets won round 1. Tonight, Zach Thompson will pitch. We're on the air at 6:20.
The Cardinals Hall of Fame and Museum is the official home of Cardinals history. For those who want to be a part of one of the sport's greatest collections in the world, museum membership is the way to go. Cardinals Museum membership provides unlimited admission for 1 year, exclusive Hall of Fame bobbleheads, discounts, ticket offers, and more, in addition to supporting exhibit design and artifact restoration. There are a variety of membership levels, including our ultimate level of membership. For more info and to join, go to cardinals.com/membership.
So Mason Wynn's being called up.
Yeah, Mason Wynn, the superstar shortstop, will get his shot. Lars Nootbaar goes on the injured list.
Squatters were preventing.
So there you go. We got Mason Wynn coming up. Our weather now, Greg Solier, brought to you by the Urbana Park District.
And they remind you, the Folk and Roots Friday is from noon to 1 at the Lake House at Crystal Lake Park in Urbana. When you bring your brown bag lunch, you can be entertained by some awesome duos or... it's a great time. UrbanaParks.org for details.
Okay, everyone, let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign, Urbana this Saturday. Little change to those weather maps and charts, with a late season heat wave to begin to build over the back end of the weekend and through a good part of next week in a largely drier setup. Meanwhile, it's going to be a historic spell of weather ahead later on this weekend and into much of next week, as the either direct hit from Hillary or some remnant form of Hillary makes landfall into Southern California. First time that's happened in some 84 years, likely to set up flash flooding and severe weather over the southwest and building northward across the west in the days to come. Back this way for the day today, expectations of mostly sunny days worth of weather, close to 80 this afternoon. We'll level off tonight in the 50s, warm tomorrow to 85 with sunshine, a 93-degree high expected on Sunday's humidity climbs as well, and maybe an errant thunderstorm due in here for perhaps late Monday to Tuesday, and again late next week. Otherwise, daytime temperatures 90 to 95 degrees. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Busey Bank, leading the way to your financial wellness. No matter where your financial journey begins, Pathways banking options at Busey are designed with your goals in mind. UC Bank, building strong financial futures, one family, one street, one city at a time. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Futures are trading near their lowest closing value in about 2 months, with investors worried about rising bond yields and China's economic turmoil, with People's Bank of China stepping in to help the yuan, which fell to a 15-year low. Chinese property developer Evergrande Group has filed for Chapter 15 bankruptcy protection in Manhattan. The filing comes 2 years after the company defaulted on its debt and set off defaults by smaller Chinese developers. Estee Lauder shares are falling in the pre-market after it offered soft guidance that lagged consensus. The cosmetics giant had a net loss of $33 million after earnings of $52 million. The numbers signal a slower than expected recovery in its travel retail business, mainly in Asia, and also easing demand in the U.S. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lilian Wu, invested in you.
From the Fox News Podcasts Network.
I'm Janice Dean, Fox News senior meteorologist, and my brand new podcast, The Janice Dean Podcast, is launching on the Fox News Podcast Network. Every week, I'll be focusing in on a person, a place, or a thing that deserves your attention because it makes the world a better place. Be sure to subscribe to The Janice Dean Podcast at foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And don't forget to spread the sunshine.
Tapman's Towing, team of experienced tow professionals, is seeking others with CDLs, previous tow experience, and or strong interest in serving others. Please visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
Great to talk with Fayon about driving and delivering for Pepsi-Cola Champaign-Urbana Bottling.
Come home every day. It pays very, very well, especially for a truck driver. They're very understanding. It's just a great company all around. They're always eager to help. And you off on the weekends. The company in general is just a great company. Very family-oriented. Comes in, check on you, see if you like it. Always asking questions, trying to see if you need any help. Pretty dope.
Sound appealing? Join the Pepsi team. Equal opportunity employer. Visit PepsiColaCU.com.
This is Eric Boland with Provident Financial Group. Unfortunately, there is no one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is we can help improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at ProvidentFinancialGroupLLC.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA, SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Here's what one shopper said about Pard's Western Shop in Urbana, 306 North Maple, between Main and University. He said, sure, you can find boots at some big box stores, but nothing like Pard's selections. They're unique, they're local, and they have an excellent store. So many people that visit Pard's in Urbana say the same thing. Pard's in Urbana, 306 North Maple. You can find the best boots in the world and shop local. Visit pards.com, pards.com.
Let Max Twin City Recycling pay you for your junk metal items. As the weather begins to heat up, now is a great time to put cash in your pocket for the steel, copper, brass, and aluminum items you've been meaning to get rid of. We've recently added a large concrete pad to make unloading quicker and cleaner for our customers. Visit us on North Lincoln Avenue, just north of I-74, or at maxrecycling.com.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
It's Emily Atkins. She owns something called Happy Healing. Tell me about what you have planned coming up.
September 9th, we have our spiritual spa day. We have 3 wellness practitioners coming. We have Brenda, who does sound bowl healings with crystal bowls, Drea, who does facials, and we have Emily, who does massages. So we'll be selling tickets, and so you'll have a half hour of each, and then I'll be there and we can make candles too. You can go to the website, happyhealing.us.
All right, Friday morning, August
18. Tomorrow's the 19th. I've got the Crisis Nursery Touch-A-Truck. Presenting sponsor is Deuce Construction.
Yeah,
Way to go,
on.
Austin, my nephew. There's construction vehicles, ag vehicles, first responders. The first hour from 9 to 10 without the sirens and horns for those who have sensory issues. So it's going to be a blast from 9 to 1. Carl at the field. So join me.
We have a Stever. I'm handing out Stevers to Merle Norman today. This is where I, the host, give you money, and you spend it at the featured business, which is Merle Norman. Maryland's wonderful, and so it's essentially a fancy facial.
Yeah.
And they work on your face, and they say, well, this would probably help this, and this is what I would. And so then
they just had a retinol night, Stevie. You really need this to improve clarity, tone, and texture for your more youthful appearance.
I need a lot of what she has, actually.
Excellent.
This is why it's radio.
Yeah.
And fuzzy cameras on Facebook. So anyway, so if you want this, I'm not only giving you the free facial, but a $100 bill to buy a few of these things. And that way you can say, I never knew XYZ. I never knew that about this. My skin is this. It's a wonderful, wonderful hour, and I'm paying for it.
That's right.
And if you would like this, you'll go to GoStever.com, where thousands of you have actually signed up, put in a password and a username that you'll forget. And that's how it works. So sign up at GoStever.com and then click accept on today's offer. And you get an email tonight if you're one of our 2 winners today. So
I'm just looking at this product that has shea butter, honey, and sweet almond oil for deep hydration. Your skin will look great with Merle Norman products. I've been using it. I'm telling you, people talked about it at the wedding. And I had Merle Norman do a makeover right before, a couple days ahead of the wedding. And then when my daughter got married in June, and I'm telling you, people said I was radiant and beaming, and it stuck with me the whole night. She put something on there, so it held and all that. I mean, Maryland is terrific. 706 West Marketview Drive. Even if you don't win from us today, you can call 359-8100 and make sure you're set for back to school.
Okay, so GoStever.com for today's offer. Mike says Austin Ducey's a good guy. Must get it from his mother.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
well, and Austin is my brother Michael and Janet's kid, but yes, his mother is awesome too.
Right, that's the old joke. Okay, 7:27. It's Friday morning. We got 2 weeks from tomorrow's football, so I don't know what you're doing. Are you going tailgate? We should have tickets to give away, although I haven't received anything, but we should get tickets to give away.
Okay.
And if we do that, then you'll be listening the week out for free tickets.
That's right.
Because that's always fun. And I don't know what tickets cost, but right now you can buy season tickets for stupidly low prices.
That's right.
I mean, you can get that for less than a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And that's incredible to go to a Big Ten football stadium and sit there for less than you would at the Phoenix or the Savoy 16 as we know it.
Absolutely.
It's going to be the Savoy 16. It's the Sears Tower. I'm sorry, new sponsors. I can't help myself. It's the Assembly Hall. Just because State Farm pays the U of I doesn't mean I have to call it the State Farm Center. I'm not under contract. I can call it what the heck I want it. I'm a townie. It's Assembly Hall.
Okay, thank you,
1964.
Stevie. Wow.
I know.
So in any case, what were we talking about?
I have no idea.
The tailgate.
Tailgate, yeah.
Okay.
2 weeks from tomorrow.
And I was at Memorial Stadium around 7 o'clock yesterday, and man, the freshmen, I think, that were pouring in for the new student initiation or something, it looked so fun, and it was such a gorgeous night last night.
Yeah, they do an introduction for about 8,000, and then they walk across the State Farm / Assembly Hall, and they eat dinner, and it's fun, and it's just, I don't know, do kids...
They look so young.
But do they have a dance? Or back at the day, I had a dance, and then
they all had phones, and they were probably exchanging numbers. It's such a great time.
How many of the 8,000 did not have a phone with them? None.
Probably none.
Well, it might have been 5 that forgot it.
Right.
Might be in the dorm.
I just hope they're taking time to put it down a little bit and engage. Actually, look at each other in the eye.
I can help them with what you say, like, "Hey, where you from?"
Exactly.
And you kind of wiggle your shoulders.
That's
hey,
right.
Where you from? It's 1970s stuff, but it might still work.
It still works.
Bell bottoms are back, aren't they?
They are.
Afros, the whole thing's everything kind of cyclical, and you'll still. Let me just. I don't have time. Dang it. I got to talk about the Kingfisher.
Okay.
Your new mascot.
I'm telling you.
Let me just
legs, and we can still be the Fighting Illini.
Where are the legs? They have a beak.
Is it the vocal minority is what I'm seeing on social media?
I saw a clip on Channel 3 about it, and I'll share.
Well, it's a bird that does have orange and blue feathers.
No, the feathers that are flapping remind me of a headdress, and I'm offended.
Oh.
It looks like a headdress with those feathers, and I need a safe space because that ticks me off.
How dare
you?
them.
No, I'm kidding. Not kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm going, well, that looks like a headdress. I need a spot to think about this. Anyway,
What's wrong with the chief? Dang it.
Just don't be shoving a kingfisher down my throat. It's too soon. Talk to me in 2050. Okay, because it was the beginning of the politically correct movement
I know.
as we know it.
I know.
All right, stand by.
As Tapman's Towing celebrates 50 years of serving Central Illinois, we're always seeking good people to serve our great customers. Our team of expert tow professionals would like to interview others with CDLs, previous tow experience, or a strong interest in serving others. If you enjoy serving people, love working in the outdoors, and looking for a career, not just a job, we should talk soon. Do you have a strong desire but lack the experience? We should still talk. Visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. Hurricane Hilary is a Category 4 storm now, moving toward the southwestern U.S.
It will not be a hurricane strength as it approaches California and Arizona and even up into Las Vegas. But those pockets, specifically SoCal, could see anywhere between 2 to 10 inches of rain, and that will cause flash flooding.
Fox Weather's Robert Ray. President Biden hosts the leaders of Japan and South Korea today at Camp David in Maryland.
The White House says threats posed by North Korea will be a focus. The meeting will also focus on, quote, promoting a rules-based international order and bolstering economic prosperity.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz. The Fulton County, Georgia Sheriff's Office is investigating threats against grand jurors who voted to indict former President Trump. Their personal information has been shared on social media, including names, addresses, and phone numbers in posts promoting violence against them. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's local news. A portion of the interchange between I-57 and 74 closing for the next 2 years. The ramp leading from westbound I-74 to northbound I-57 being shut down in order to replace the current ramps with new ones. The project's part of the overall reconstruction of the interchange. A detour will be posted for drivers. The community getting to know the new police chief of Urbana, Larry Boone, met with media to talk about his life and plans for the future of Urbana Police. He has more than 30 years of experience in law enforcement. Boone previously served as chief of police for the Norfolk, Virginia. Illinois Agribility will host a health and safety tent at the Farm Progress Show. Farm Progress Show runs August 29th through the 31st in Decatur. The health and safety tent is going to be providing safety resources to farmers and the agricultural community. It'll also offer free health screenings and services. And it might be a great idea to take advantage of those free health screenings. You're up to date. From the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom, I'm Jim Miller.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather. Free Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana vicinity. Overall, pretty quiet weather picture from a rainfall standpoint. Not much in the offing here in the days to come. Coming off in some spots up to a quarter inch that we saw during the course of yesterday late morning. It's heat and humidity over the back end of the weekend, a good part of next week. Meanwhile, they're bracing for a direct hit of either tropical storm or Hurricane Hilary. The first time a named system will have made landfall in Southern California in some 84 years. They've been few and far between, but they do exist from time to time. That fetch of moisture will set up widespread flooding, rainfall, severe weather, flash flooding at that, not only over the southwest and into parts of California, but a build northward across much of the west for next week. Mostly sunny, a bit cooler here for the day today in East Central Illinois. High temperature close to 80, clear, comfortable tonight, 80 about down to about 55, that is. 84 tomorrow with sunshine, 93 as humidity climbs on Sunday, low to mid-90s ahead for much of next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
All right. So the kingfisher is the suggested new mascot that some guy came up with, and he's walking around campus last night, and he said, it's just been great. Everybody said, yeah, they're happy. This is great.
Well,
and I'm saying, who are you talking to?
I mean, that's how you do it these days. Isn't that what Biden does? Isn't that what Trump does? I mean, everybody does that. In their world, it's great.
First of all, they're fist pumping 19-year-olds from Naperville. They have no idea what we're talking about here.
I know.
And so I saw a lot of comments from folks that know better, and it's not one thought that was a good idea. Now, there wasn't zero.
Clicking on an article from the Chicago Trib, with campus Senate approval, the belted kingfisher continues a hopeful dive towards becoming the University of Illinois new mascot.
All donors have to do is say, I'm not donating anymore if you do something like this. That's all they got to do. And they're the ones that would probably do it because, you're going, first of all, we kowtowed to the political pressure of allowing the Seminole to ride on a horse with a flaming spear and accept that and let them ban me. You know what? It's either good or bad. And you don't allow. Well, they have an agreement. Well, we could have had an agreement too.
So retired the Chief Illini WEC in 2007 when the NCAA determined the American Indian themed image was hostile and abusive.
Except for Florida State. That's not hot. That's okay. But we're bad.
Well, in the end, aren't they giving money to the Seminole tribe and there's no more Illini left?
There was a deal with an Indian tribe that was all for this, for scholarships and help and support and education and all these other things, and we just flat out turned it down. Our administration, whoever it was at the time, they just don't want to talk about it. I don't know how within the bowels of the University of Illinois what they really think. There's some that think, they don't want to talk about it. They don't want this
just pass.
Yeah,
this is
go
too
away.
hot of a topic. I don't want to touch it.
Was anybody like the Kingfisher? I would really like your text.
Yes, 359-2255.
Maybe I am wrong, and all of you love.
Here's Richard. The Kingfisher bird will get
it'll
out of the stadium.
It'll be embarrassing, and that won't go away till everybody dies. Okay. This is something that is very hard for logical people to really reconcile, and again, it is not consistent with the game plan for the NCAA when a school gets to do a flaming spear and horseback and
here's
Illinois
another one that's talking about no official word on the movement on the Kingfisher.
Well,
bird.
they've asked the trustees to accept the bird as our new symbol called the Kingfisher. And when I saw it in a picture, it's kind of this long beak, and then underneath they have the orange and blue feathers that are obviously manufactured, but it reminded me of an Indian headdress, and I was offended. I was really, truly offended by how dare they. So there's that. Brother Johnny's here celebrating rather late. What'd they say?
Hey, I missed you at coffee this morning, Steve.
Yeah, I missed you.
Oh, yeah. Well, like I said, I missed you.
Well, Johnny was, what'd they say in the Scrooge movie, Making Merry rather late last night?
Well,
and Gary Franks knew that. How did he know that?
Steve. As you go through life, and especially when you have a hometown where you grew up, and you come back and you see everybody, and you like to get up at 5:30, and it's fun because you see the people at coffee, and then you have a coffee at 10 for the older folks, then you see them at lunch, and then sure you have a couple of big, and then by about 1:30, you start all over, and then there's a point at which, and that point may be when you get to about your 50th class reunion in high school, that you can't do both.
Okay, we got to work a nap in here somewhere.
So I did not quite make it to the coffee because we were talking around. We had a great time.
Right. Well. Yeah, but the coffee guys knew it.
And Gary was we had a great visit in the afternoon, and
nice.
But Gary wasn't a part of the visit after dinner, and that was the difference.
So how's everybody looking? Everybody looking like they're hanging in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Excellent.
Yeah.
It's going to be a blast for you guys.
We're going to have a few people tonight, and then tomorrow night's a big event.
So if I showed up at Meharry's, nobody'd care?
Nobody.
Because I'm not in the class of your class.
I mean,
you look at Steve.
Diane said I needed Merle Norman's for my face.
So, treatment.
Yeah, well, maybe I do look it, so that's fine.
Actually, at this point, we're about the same age. It used to be
I know,
those guys were 2 or 3 years older, and they're
Yeah.
way older.
That's right.
Well, actually, now we're all the same age.
We were talking about Kingfisher. Andy says university officials don't want to talk about the chief, yet they still like making money off of it because they won't relinquish the trademark. Hypocrisy.
Well, let me tell you about the chief. We need to know the history of the Indians, and we also need to honor their heritage and way of life because they were the first Americans, really. And I see the Democrats, and I haven't been kind when we talk about the Democratic Party, or especially the progressives. I think they're just trying to stamp out the history and all vestiges of the Indian because the Indians were wiped out by the Democrats.
Well, it was Andrew Jackson, first Democratic president.
No, it was the Democratic Party.
The
and
whole
they wanted,
push.
Well, they wanted the slaves, but they also wanted the land.
Yeah.
And there's some history there that you can
I bet you
fact check.
people don't know that.
No, they don't. Well, and they're not going to know it because there won't be any vestige of an Indian in this country in 20 years if we keep doing it.
So people say we took this land. It was the Democratic push, was it not?
It was the Americans, and the Democrats led the way, believe me.
Okay.
And the Republicans were in on that one.
Yeah.
But
right.
because we wanted the land.
Yeah, sure.
And but Steve, why would you wipe out all traces of the American Indian?
Because it's racist.
No.
Bigoted.
No, you don't want them talking about what they did to these poor people because it was
That's an
terrible.
interesting
That was,
perspective.
if anyone has something to complain about, it would be the American Indian.
So 217-359-2255. Are you for the kingfisher as your new mascot?
Now the kingfisher, I don't. That's
a bird.
We used
And it has orange and blue feathers.
We called Huey P. Long the kingfisher.
I know, down in
the bridge. You called the bridge a king?
No, the
man.
governor.
He was the governor?
Of Louisiana.
Way back when.
And would have been president, but he was shot about 25 times by someone. No.
Assassinated.
He did get assassinated.
Okay.
Right.
But he was another Democrat. But he was quite a character and a Louisiana icon.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. So I suggested right before you walked in, Brother Johnny, that if the U of I heard enough from the donors that said if you trot out a bird at halftime.
Oh, we want to be the kingfishers?
Yeah.
Right.
Now I get it. See,
Okay.
I was.
They were.
I kept late hours last night.
I understand.
There's a student that apparently is pushing this. Has asked the trustees to accept this.
Well, that wouldn't be a good Central Illinois bird, number one. And number two, we need to get the chief back so that we can tell the kids about
But the bird has
American-
orange and blue.
You know, the American Indian, by the way, was an extremely free persona.
Yeah.
They just roamed. They could go anywhere.
Yeah.
And we pushed them everywhere. And they went where we didn't want to go, and they still did fine. But then we wanted that too. And then we put them on the reservations, which was not that great a deal. They didn't have to work, quote unquote, but that's not what they wanted to do.
Yeah, right. Anyway, so we'll see if this is actually the trustees are going. What do we do? The power of the chief is in the office of the governor. You have to be governor, appoint the trustees, then you could actually do something. You could go to a campus and vote on it, and they'd vote for the chief. Still, they still would vote for the chief.
Yeah, and
Anyway.
it really, and that mascot was maybe one of the more esteemed mascot in NCAA.
And some would say it's a symbol. It's not a mascot.
Okay, a symbol.
Yeah.
But whatever, it was a good symbol, and it was very esteemed. You know, our mascot did not run up and down the sidelines. He came out.
I
the
just
half.
struggle with the Florida State Seminole. If that's okay, why aren't I?
The Seminoles. Here's what gets me too. The Seminoles are reimbursed by the University of Florida State. Because they used the chief and they raised money for the Americans,
right.
Indians of Seminole descent. And we're trying to say that the Illini are offended. And I'm saying, where are the Illini that would
They're
support?
not.
There aren't any.
No.
Well, how can you offend them?
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
But couldn't we
If
had,
they're not around.
We had plenty of chances to make that kind of an opportunity happen with, like the Seminoles do. We had Indian tribes that were all for this, and we were going to educate, help, fund, scholarships, the whole thing.
No, I thought the chief, and it might not have been what the Illini did when they did their dances, which they did do, but it was a very, very honorable deal. It wasn't making fun of anything. That was an absolute travesty. What we did with our symbol of
it was
the history of America.
The beginning of what we now see full blown as far as politically correct and all these things.
And
now.
You know how you just don't want to get something started because it starts with the Indian, and then they erase every other part of history, and they want to say, here's how it is, like. Oh, let's go back to a man can have a baby, and don't get me started.
Yep.
I'm a little tired.
You can text me to 217-359-2255. Maybe you are all for the Kingfisher.
And when it comes to Chancellor Jones approving the new mascot to consider the Kingfisher as a possible successor to Chief Illini Weck, it was known that he's not choosing a mascot at this time.
Okay,
was what was told.
That was a good call.
Well, that's right. And again, they know what's going to happen if they, for some reason, do something like this. And
well, they do.
People will be mad for a very long time.
They'll be mad, but we've seen people be mad and things are happening that doesn't seem to matter anymore.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, quarter till ESPN 93.5. Quick break, coming right back. Here's your Stever. Hey, it's Stevie Jay. Time for another Stever. The Stever program is where I give you my money and you keep and use the stuff. All right, today from Merle Norman. All right, Merle Norman is, unbelievably great when it comes to makeup and your skin. Marilyn will help you. Now, here's what the offer is. I'm going to give you a free color analysis and I'll give you $100 to buy makeup from Merle Norman, made right here in America. In fact, made in Los Angeles. Marilyn is so good at what she does. So if you would like my $100 bill and a free color analysis from Merle Norman, all you have to do is go to gostever.com, and click accept. That's all you have to do. You have to make an appointment within 7 days, and then you have to fill out my survey as to how they did, how you liked working with Marilyn. Okay, Merle Norman, our Stever offer. GoStever.com, click accept. You'll get an email later on, late afternoon or evening, if you win. Rooting for you. GoStever.com, click accept for Merle Norman.
Join the Champaign Parks Foundation for a fun evening of food, socializing, and entertainment at the iHotel and Conference Center with Champaign Park District's Youth Scholarship Fund to benefit from the new Ties and Tennies Gala. It's coming up on Thursday, September 14th, and you'll enjoy dueling pianos, a plated dinner, complimentary wine and beer, live and silent auction, and featured speaker Team USA Paralympian sitting volleyball player Nicole Millage. Learn more details. Visit champaignparks.org.
Wouldn't it be nice to visit a car dealership where you didn't feel like you were at an auction? Or didn't feel like you were being taken to the cleaners?
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
Welcome to Sarah Champagne. At Sarah, they offer a one-price promise. Every vehicle at a fair price, no negotiation, only the best price. Sarah Champagne, Honda, BMW, GMC, Buick, and Subaru. SERRA Champagne.com. Yeah, Easy says, what's a kingfisher? It's a bird.
Yeah.
It's got orange and bluish feathers.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody thinks that would make a good mascot.
That's right. Well, and Chris was saying that we don't even need a mascot. I don't even really want the chief back. In my opinion, the Illini just have the name.
Well, I mean, how long will it be before you quit hearing chief as the chief, doesn't dance?
I don't
but
know.
Yet, how many of us still see the dance? And
I do, and I do all the motions.
Well, that's pretty good.
I have trouble with the toe touch at the end. I just do one at a time.
That's still good. 747 now sports headlines.
Well, speaking of the Illini, the women's soccer 3-2 winners over Loyola yesterday. 5 matches on the road now. Thursday the 24th, they'll be in Cincinnati to take on Xavier at 6 o'clock. And our volleyball team has a fan day tomorrow between 11 and 1 at Huff Hall. If you're popping around, you can enjoy that. Of course, our football team will be against Toledo's Rockets. That's September 2nd, Saturday at 6:30. The next game will be Friday at Kansas at 6:30. So we're out of the gate with a couple of 6:30 games.
Yep. And I'm sure we're practicing to those times too, just to get used to conditions, daylight, and all these other things, and under the lights. And you know what? We're going to see. I mean, what do we got? How good will we be? What about our defensive secondary? I know our front seven's supposed to be heralded and incredible on the defensive side, but what about who's the running back? We got 4 or 5 guys there. Our wide receiver room apparently is deeper than we've had it in a long, long time.
That's right.
How about our quarterback? Is it going to be our Mississippi guy? I mean, we want to see how we look. So 2 weeks from tomorrow, Toledo, Ohio will come here, and we'll take on those Rockets at 6:30.
Steve, we weren't a lot deeper than when I was playing because we had like 14 deep because I was number 14. No, actually, I probably was 13.
Okay.
And I don't want to get into
Gotcha.
number 14 guy.
Well, Coach Brett
Nobody was doing
Bielema
out there, Steve.
had talked about a tweet in Sidney Brown and his insane appearance.
Yeah, what about Sidney Brown? Johnny, Sidney Brown might start for the Philadelphia Eagles in his first year. He's Chase's brother. Chase got drafted too.
Right.
But Sidney might start. He had 41 plays in the exhibition and I had 9 tackles.
And he was a great defensive
safety. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, he's
a 3rd round draft pick.
How about
and
that?
could be on the first team reps
These
with
guys
the
are-
Eagles defense.
Johnny, they were 23 years old, and I think 7 years ago they were homeless. This is an incredible story of the twins that were in Canada with their mom. They were sleeping in their car, and here they are. America, baby, America.
And they were great players. That's why we beat
Absolutely.
Michigan, Steve,
Yes.
if you remember.
Well,
we beat Michigan.
we really did.
No, you can't. I don't care what they call it. We saw the game, and then did both of them not play in the bowl game?
Chase didn't. I think Sydney. I don't know.
Remember.
That was the thing.
I thought Sydney played, but Devin Weatherspoon didn't.
You didn't want
There were
anybody
three of
to
them.
get
It was
hurt.
Huge. Maybe it was. I don't know.
I can't remember if Sydney played.
Well,
or
I mean,
not.
would you?
I do know
if
that we lost the game.
If everybody's telling you got $4 million
Right.
if you don't get hurt, would you play in the game?
Yeah, because it's another game, and I've been playing for all my life.
Yeah, but we won't get $4 million.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I would probably lay out myself.
I mean,
I would probably not play.
But why'd you play the last 3 games of the season?
Because nobody said concretely, I'm going to get that kind of a draft pick.
I got you.
This is the postseason.
The season's
so now
over.
You kind of focus in
everything
on
is-
what you're actually risking.
And everybody's telling you you're going to go 3rd, 4th, or 5th. I mean, it's just a lot of money. I mean, what did Devin Witherspoon get? $30 million? I wouldn't have played in the bowl game either.
Well, that's right. And I can't really comment because I had the gift of not risking anything. Absolutely nothing. So I played every game I could play.
Yes. Play hard.
Other
Rudy story
other than
right here in
other than my
Illinois.
life, I had no money on the table.
Kansas City will be at Wrigley to face the Chicago Cubs. 1:20 start today, tomorrow, Sunday over on US 105.9. Mets beat St. Louis yesterday, and now they've got a series that continues tonight
All
today
weekend,
on ESPN 93.5. And Mason Wynn actually got caught up. For those of us who were at the Cardinal Caravan, we heard and saw him. He's only 21.
Yeah, he's a young kid. He and Jordan Walker kind of have come up together.
Okay.
They're both the same age. Jordan Walker's 21, the right fielder, young right fielder for the Cardinals. But Mason Wynn, we caught up with him when they were at the I Hotel for the Caravan, and I'll play that in the next hour. So you'll hear this young man. He's so mature, and he is really good. He's got some pop in his bat, like 18 home runs or something.
Yeah, and he popped up because Lars Nootbaar's on the 10-day IL with his
I think Lars Nootbaar fouled a
Groin
ball off the
injury.
ground, and I
Ouch.
think it came up at his groin. And he's out for 10 days.
Yeah,
I mean,
they said lower abdominal.
yeah,
or
they
something. I
couldn't
don't
say
know.
groin, I guess.
Lower abdomen.
I think Yadier Molina took a foul ball, 101 mile an hour foul ball, and somehow the cup didn't cover him as a catcher. So I think he had surgery.
I'm even crossing.
No,
my legs, and
listen,
I'm a lady over here.
I wouldn't play
Change the
catcher.
topic.
But speaking of baseball, how's Jacob doing? Jacob is an amazing player. That's Stevie's future son.
He's done really well. Yeah. He's had a really, really good year. He's leading the team in this morning. I think he's leading the team in 6 categories. So he's got,
and that's Double A.
Double A.
But he also, if of course they didn't play a whole lot, but in Triple A, he'd be in the top like 10 because he's batting 560.
Well, he had 5 for 9, but the kid got that injury. The guy got better, so he was sent back up. Yeah,
Triple A. But he did get up there, and that is kind of. There must be an algorithm that says boop. Boop, boop.
Yeah.
Did you look back at this guy?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm
he
hoping.
scored 2 winning runs.
He had a game-winning hit his first at bat. He scored the game-winning run the second
and
time.
that was in Triple A.
Triple A,
and then he's leading in 6 categories.
Yeah, he's had a really, really good year. Baseball's tough. There are a lot of
He's
good
got
players.
one problem. The Reds are fine. They're not injured.
Yeah.
They're doing well.
Yeah, and they got a lot of outfielders too.
I'm going to see if I can find somebody I know with the A's. Because I think me, you, and he could all
could
play.
use
You, me, and Jacob
And
could make up the
Steve played for Eastern.
Yeah, that's
for a
exactly
day.
right.
I mean,
No.
you tried out.
I played for an hour, but I did try out.
See, I tried out for the EIU volleyball team,
really?
and I was a practice player, and then I hurt my pinky, and that's when Betty Ralston, the coach, said, "Hey, why don't you just announce the games?" And that's kind of how things started for me radio-wise.
That's great.
Because there was a radio, guy that was in the audience, and he's like, "Your voice comes across really well," and the person to sing the national anthem wouldn't show up, so I'd sing that, and I just did it all.
Well, we
great.
had, if you remember back in high school, which I've got my 50th coming up, we had a great basketball team, and I was 9th. So the coach asked me if I wanted to be the manager who did the stats.
You did all the stats,
Yes.
and you
then I
wrote the
articles.
columns.
Yeah.
The legendary, the Sojourn to Paris,
Right.
Jody Calba stories. I mean, there are a lot of
Don't
stories.
forget the basketball brawl.
Ooh boy, that was with the Franks boys, right?
Well, and Gary was mad at a guy from St. Teresa and was elbowing him. So, of course, finally, like in the second quarter, the guy from St. Teresa decked Larry because he thought
got confused. They were identical twins, so they hit the wrong.
And Larry's, what are you doing? And I'm telling you what, they had to stop the game.
Is that right?
I thought they were going to cancel it.
Oh boy!
I was taking notes, but they went on with the game. Everybody made up. We didn't. We Unity lost the game, but yeah, it was what I did, and Diane, it's in some ways more fun. It's a different job.
It is.
Well, your wife Bobby and I were the alternates on the homecoming court, and so we didn't, get to walk down.
That means you're the announcer.
We're the announcers.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that kind of got.
To me, that's the better gig.
Well, it certainly
that was my daughter Anna was the announcer, and I was like, "This is what you want, Anna." She's like, "Not me, Mom. That's you."
No,
most of the time you walk down the homecoming court and the quarterback and his girlfriend win. Normally, not all the time. Bowie Daly won for your year.
I think there was some voter fraud there.
Because you were up there.
I'm an election denier.
I got you.
And he still talks about beating me out for king, which is fine. That's fine.
Well, who was the queen your year?
It was Karen Christian.
Karen
they were such a cute. Makes me sick.
But that was a couple. They were a couple then. Okay, right. I got you. And you were up there though. You were
I was there with Julie
Shoemaker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, we've got news coming up.
Great reminiscing about Unity.
If you want to text us, you can 217-359-2255. We've got Mason Wynn. Also, we got Jeff Wilson coming by.
Yes, we do.
And they're going to talk something for the veterans that you need to know about.
There's a assistance program that we'll learn about.
And our Stever offer at GoStever.com. Merle Norman, free facial, $100 to spend on product. That's at GoStever.com. Stand by, another hour for the week to go.
Stevie, I just may go lay down. So I've had a great time here with you, Diane.
Well, thank you, Johnny, for dropping in all week. And so the party is now beginning. Is there anything going on tonight?
Yeah, we're decorating the deal, and there'll be a few people there.
Okay.
I had lunch with a group.
How many do you think are coming after 50?
I think we'll have 100 people.
Wow.
Probably 50 classes.
And how many in your class?
110 or
wow,
12.
so almost half. So after 50 years, you had 50.
Well, and 22 of us are no longer with us.
Wow.
No, it's a great turnout as far as that goes.
Yeah,
but,
well, for you're getting along now. At 50 is a while now.
Yeah, Unit 7 grew in the 70s because the Catholic schools started closing and we had all the consolidation.
Well, we had 155 in my class.
Oh, wow.
Big class.
Mine was 111.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, a big.
But listen, if you want to get up at 5:30 in the morning, then go ahead and have fun till 1:30. Don't do it.
That's right.
That's all I can tell you.
I couldn't do it.
Or get a nap in.
You're as my little brother. Don't do that.
I won't do that.
No, okay.
7:57.
See you later.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. Take a look around your home. Is it finally ready for some much-needed updates? If you don't know where to start, then just meet with one of our experts. We'll help you find the perfect waterproof plank floor for your kitchen or that stain-resistant, super soft carpet for your bedroom. Finish your room update with a custom sofa and chairs, or choose a trendy, in-stock dining set that's priced right. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Does your home have those annoying outdoor spigots that leak and have no pressure? Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing can help. Install a new Woodford outdoor spigot so your gardens and flowers don't suffer in this summer heat. Make sure your home's outdoors look great and call Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing at 217-841-4728. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend.
So when was the last time you saw a best deal guarantee?
You mean a promise that actually held up?
Right.
That some unknown online entity didn't want you to log in and download a code and then re-verify as you join some club.
Drives you nuts, I know.
And then once you purchase that set of steak knives...
Well, Dick Van Dyke Appliance World is a lot simpler. You find a verified great deal and they beat it. Just show them the deal you saw. A newspaper clipping or the online cart price will do, and then you're good.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, it's one of those instances where you see a best deal guarantee and...
you get the best deal.
This is Dennis Reekin, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Our exclusive 10-year protection plan comes free with most appliance purchases. Whether it's a GE, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, Bosch, or any of our 30 brands, I guarantee we will beat any competitor's deal. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Hi, this is Kirk Lehman with Aftershock Decals and Design.
And right now, we are looking for an honest, hardworking individual that wants a career with Aftershock Decals and Design. If you have any kind of experience wrapping vehicles, tinting windows, we want you.
You can't touch this.
No, not that kind of wrapper.
Can't touch this.
Please go to our website at aftershockdd.com, click on the Jobs tab, and send in your resume. We want you. aftershockdd.com.
Racing, racing, racing! Farmer City Raceway is your local award-winning dirt track with exciting Friday night lights illuminating the late models and modifieds going for the checkered flag for the win. Make arrangements to get in on the camping with great price points for pit passes and young fans, as well as veterans. Friday nights, the hot laps start at 6:30, then qualifying and racing action. Don't miss out on the fun at Farmer City Raceway. For details, visit farmercityracing.com. You'll buy the whole seat, but you only need the edge.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Hasn't won any of his trials before next year's elections. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Former President Trump keeps calling his 4 indictments election interference, telling Fox Business is Kudlow.
I think they're sick people. I think they are people that have no idea how the world works, and they have no idea the anger they cause.
And Fox's Ryan Schmelz reports he wants one trial pushed way, way back.
Attorneys for former President Trump suggesting a trial date of April of 2026. Special counsel Jack Smith is asking for the trial over Trump's alleged actions to overturn the 2020 election to begin on January 2nd.
The former president's canceled a Monday news conference to release what he claims is election fraud that will exonerate him in the Georgia elections case. He says his lawyers prefer including that in legal filings. Meanwhile, there's concern for the grand jury members in the Georgia Trump indictment. Their names and addresses have been posted online, but it's not just them.
The FBI's Atlanta office said emails sent to Fulton County officials and media outlets detailed threats against them. Some of those threats targeted Fulton County DA Fonnie Willis and her legal staff, as well as the county's sheriff.
Fox's Gernal Scott, it's still 111 confirmed deaths in the Hawaii wildfire disaster as crews search the ashes for hundreds still unaccounted for.
The chief of the Maui Emergency Management Agency, Herman Andaya, has resigned a day after he defended not using sirens to alert the public to the wildfire threat in Lahaina. The decision not to sound the sirens, coupled with water shortages that hampered firefighters and an escape route clogged with vehicles that were overrun by flames, has brought intense criticism.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. Andaya says those sirens are meant for tsunami warnings and would have sent people inland toward the fires. Hurricane Hilary is now in Category 4 in the Pacific, but forecast to weaken to a tropical storm before hitting Southern California early next week, then moving north, potentially flooding desert and mountain areas. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, you're up next. My throat hurts so bad. There's no way I can sing tonight.
Here, try these.
Vicks VapoCool Drops.
Yeah, Vicks VapoCool Drops has maximum strength menthol with a rush of Vicks Vapors.
Ooh, I can already feel it.
I told you. So, you ready?
I'm ready.
Please welcome to the stage. Vaporize sore throat pain fast with Vicks VapoCool Drops.
Wake up, people. You are optimizing every waking hour of your life. From carpooling kids, to work, to friends, and everything in between. You have to get sleep and a bed that can perform as well as you do. Meet the next generation Sleep Number Smart Bed. It effortlessly adjusts to your shape, position, and movements, learning how you sleep so you learn to sleep better night after night. Sleep next level, only from Sleep Number.
It's the biggest sale of the year. Save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed, plus free home delivery when you add a base. Ends Monday.
This is good news for Ukraine as it asks for even more foreign help fending off Russia's invasion. The U.S. has approved the Netherlands sending F-16 fighter jets. The National Security Advisor, Jake Sullivan, says the next step will be the Dutch helping with training Ukrainian pilots on using the warplanes. The U.S. and our allies have already provided Ukraine billions of dollars worth of military aid. President Biden will gather this weekend at Camp David with the leaders of Japan and South Korea, discussing the threats China and North Korea pose to the region. Fox's Peter Ducey's at the White House.
This is the first time that he has hosted a world leader at Camp David, and he's got two of them, Japan and South Korea. They are in the D.C. area, and officials are telling us that they're going to talk about China and North Korea and ballistic threats and cyber threats. Foreign policy polling, 41% say he is doing a good job with that. And once you get to the economy, that dips down to 37% approving. Inflation all the way down to 31%.
Now, 55% of those surveyed in the Fox News poll disapprove of the president's foreign policy and his handling of the economy. 6 in 10 disapprove. That's the same number that don't think he's doing a good job with border security. They got him. In Texas, the gunman suspected of critically injuring a Harris County sheriff's deputy Wednesday at a traffic stop, but Teron Green put up a fight before his arrest.
As they began to make entry into the home, they were greeted by gunfire. A member of the U.S. Marshal's Office, as well as a member of the Harris County Sheriff's Office, members of the Gulf Coast Task Force were struck during that initial gunfire by the suspect.
Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez. More selling is in store on Wall Street. Ahead of the opening bell, Dow futures down well over 100 points. In the last 3 days, the selling has dragged the Dow down more than 800 points. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. One person hurt in Champaign Wednesday when a car rolled over in a crash. It happened at the intersection of Bradley Avenue and Market Street. Champaign police said officers found one car rolled over with Champaign fire crews to assist those inside. That person taken to the hospital with injuries. They're expected to be okay. Champaign School District unveiled a new app this year that allows parents to track their kids' bus routes, but some said they're experiencing issues. Some parents expressed concerns on social media. Their kids weren't showing up on the Traversa Ride 360 app. Champaign parents said the features worked well following his 6-year-old to Barksdale Elementary, but coming home was a different story. Illinois Agribility hosting a health and safety tent at the Farm Progress Show. The show runs August 29th through the 31st. Indicator, the health and safety tent is going to be providing safety resources to farmers and the agricultural community. It'll also offer free health screenings and services. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Thank you, Jim. 8:06, final hour of the week for our radio program, ESPN 93.5. I am Stevie Jay. There's Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
Our weather with meteorologist Greg Solier, where he'll sell got a warmer skies coming, but not crazy.
Yeah, if it were mid-July around here and we had this big old 594 high, as we call it in the weather business, and boy, that's just a mountain of sinking air. That's kind of 3 times the normal weight of the atmosphere for this point in summertime. So folks who followed all that thermodynamic stuff in school years ago, they know that when you compress an atmosphere or a gas, it warms, and that's kind of the way we're going to come up with the heat around here. And there'll be a subtle southerly wind, and with moisture in the grounds and crops growing away, we'll certainly add to the humidity, dew points up into the 70s. So that's why we have the excessive heat watches back kind of west of roughly McLean County down to about Lake Shelbyville and westward from there. Farther to the west, it's going to be historic later this weekend, early next week, with the landfall of some sense of tropical storm or Cat 1 hurricane Hillary. 84 years since a named storm has directly hit Southern California. Then you got to go back to 1858 when weather was just getting going, at least some sense of reports of a hurricane that came ashore there on 75-mile-per-hour estimated winds. And yeah, there are even some rudimentary weather maps and charts from back in that era. Anyway, back closer to home, 60 now at Willard and Savoy, 78 later today. A mostly sunny sky. There may be a little more of this smoke and haze beginning to build out of the Canadian Prairie, drifting in our general direction. I think there's some evacuations going up in around the Calgary and Edmonton area because of that. Down to 55 tonight, sunny, warmer tomorrow, 84. Here comes the heat and building humidity at 93 Sunday. Monday, 94, 95 Tuesday, 93 Wednesday, still low 90s next Thursday and Friday, and scant chances for some rain late Wednesday and Thursday of next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
All right, thank you, Greg. We appreciate it. So what's up with airlines? I just hung up on it. I just had a blip. Anyway, we're going to talk airlines. You know that the U.S. airline staffing is at its highest level in decades? So why flight delays? What's going on? Apparently, there's, the problem with getting enough pilots. We've got that working for us. And so there's all kinds of things going on in the airline industry. And we'll talk about that in just a moment. There's a train in downtown Philo. Can you hear it? All right. ESPN 93.5, Nathan Roush on the Tapman's Towing phone line. Good morning, and how are you?
Morning, Stevie. Doing great. How are you doing?
Good to have you from Addison, Texas, the senior admissions advisor with Thrust Flight. It's a multi-location flight training organization that has trained thousands of pilots from around the world. rapidly expanding flight school, operates the popular Zero Time to Airline program that trains future pilots. Are we short of pilots, Nathan?
We are in the biggest pilot shortage in U.S. aviation history, so that's a big yes.
How do we, well, you get paid pretty well, don't you?
Well, we train a lot of pilots. I'll put it to you that way.
I mean, but you get paid well as a pilot, don't you? Isn't that a good job?
Oh, my goodness. It's unbelievable, Stevie. So, 10, 15 years ago, pilots made peanuts. I mean, it was, $15,000 to $20,000 a year for your first 4 or 5 years. It was awful. But the entire field is flipped. We are in the biggest pilot shortage ever. Airlines are desperate, and they are paying like they've never paid before.
All right, so if I'm 25 years old and I put the hours in and I've been trained for jets and I'm ready to go, I can walk to United Airlines, American Airlines, all these biggies. What kind of beginning salary will I make doing these kind of mid-sized jets?
Yeah, so we've got people in our program from 18 years old up until 60 that are, sometimes career changers. And if you walk into an airline, first off, you're going to go to a regional first. So your Envoys, your SkyWests, Air Wisconsin. So you build your time there, and then you move off to the legacy carriers later, like Delta, United, American. But your starting salary, I mean, these airlines are throwing $10,000 to $30,000 bonuses, sign-on bonuses out at you, and it'd probably be in the $60,000 to $80,000 your first year, and the six figures year two. It's crazy.
That is pretty good. So if I'm a senior pilot for Delta, can I make $200,000?
I've got a friend that is a senior pilot for American. He works 8 days a month, and he makes about $450,000 a year.
And so that's 22 days off a month, and you're making that's pretty good.
You got it.
Yeah, you could
pretty good.
Actually have another job.
Right. Right.
All right. So tell me, I guess we're pretty employed up at airlines and airports. Is that right?
We're not. No. So it's interesting. I've read the same article that you did, saying that the staffing is up to par. It's not. What's happening right now is the airlines are trying to bring people in record numbers. So you may have orientation classes that are huge, but these people need to be trained. So the pilot shortage is still real, and it's going to be real for 5 to 10 years. So, no, we are not fully staffed, which is one of the reasons our program has seen record numbers than we've ever seen before, because everybody knows how deep the shortage actually is.
Okay, so if we can't, well, first of all, we have a problem. The 18 to 34s, whatever that Generation Z, Nathan, they can come Tuesday and Friday this week, but they can't come Monday through Friday, and that could be a problem.
Repeat the question. I'm not sure I understood.
They're not wanting to work regular hours. They got to be flexible hours. They want to work from home, even though the guy with the little, hand wand that brings the pilot into his little place at the airport. You got to be there, man. So I don't know. I think we're going to struggle with shortages simply because the post office. You want a job at the United States Post Office? All you got to do is apply. If your pulse is going, you promise to come, you're going to win. I mean, it is. They can't not have flexibility, and I don't think the airline business is set up to say work from home, even though you're a luggage guy.
No, you're showing up. You're showing up, and you're showing up when they want you to show up. And there's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. And that's the way flight training is. The popular flight training programs are like the programs we're running because they're full-time. So an individual, can't have their cake and eat it too. I want to be an airline pilot. I'm desperate to be an airline pilot. But like you said, I can only do flight training Tuesdays and Thursdays. Well, it's going to take you 10 years to get to the airlines.
Yeah.
The smart money is on the people that are saying, you know what? I'm going to plug in 6 days a week. I'm going to do an accelerated program like Zero Time to Airline. And then in 2 years, they will be in the right seat of one of these regional carriers.
Nathan, we're not sacrificing safety by rushing, are we?
Absolutely not. No. Accelerated programs have been around for years, and as a little bit of a plug, not nearly as good as this one. It's a well-oiled machine. But at the end of the day, we've been doing accelerated flight training for decades. Right? It's been around for a long, long time, but it's just now becoming exceedingly popular because people need to get to the airlines. They need to get to that seniority number as soon as possible because that's what drives their entire career.
Okay, so the parameters are you can't be too old, correct? What are the ages that I can apply and be a pilot?
You know, it's funny. I had a guy that was 58, just about to turn 59, and we all know that the retirement age for an airline pilot is 65. And he said, I'm retired IT. Am I crazy for wanting to go fly for the airlines because it's been my childhood dream? Can I go fly for them for 5 or 6 years? I called an airline recruiter, and this is out of the mouth of an airline recruiter, which I won't name the airline, but she said, and I quote, if we can get 2 to 3 years out of an individual as a pilot, we will hire them. If that doesn't tell you how deep the pilot shortage is, nothing will.
Wow. Okay. Well, okay, folks, there you go. Nathan Roush, how do I find you guys in Addison, Texas?
Addison, Texas. Go to thrustflight.com. Thrustflight.com. And we are all over the internet. Watch our YouTube videos. And you want to be a pilot and you're 60 or you're 18, Thrust Flight is your place.
I'm going to call ageism on this, though. 65. I mean, you can be president when you're 80 and not know where you are. I don't get it. I don't get it, Nathan. I don't understand it.
No comment, Stevie.
Hey, thanks for being on. Nice meeting you. And by the way, you're not from Texas. Where are you from?
Louisiana, Shreveport, Louisiana. Nobody's from Texas.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah. Nice meeting you, Nathan. We appreciate it, buddy. Appreciate it. Nathan Roush, Rausch.
And nice a shout out to Frasca, who does so much with the simulators to get pilots ready also.
Well, Nathan knew Frasca.
Right.
Yeah.
Frasca International. And the software dates back, 60 years with Rudy?
Frasca's worldwide
I
now.
know.
Worldwide.
So just take note of that.
Yeah. All right, sports headlines.
The Mets beat St. Louis's Cardinals yesterday. That final was 4-2. One thing to take note of is the LA Dodgers ended up getting their 11th straight win and swept the Milwaukee Brewers. That was 1-0. So we are taking note of all these baseball notes. Kansas City is at Wrigley to face the Cubs. Hopefully the Cubs will have a good time with that, with some wins. 120 start over on US 105.9. Jamison Talon on the mound for the Cubs and Cole Raggins for the Royals. Chicago White Sox are in Colorado with a 7:40 start. And we've got Illinois, our soccer team, beating Loyola. That final was 3-2. 5 matches on the road now. On Thursday, the 24th, will be their next game in Cincinnati to take on Xavier at 6 o'clock. And Illinois volleyball with a fan day tomorrow at Huff Hall, 11-1. I haven't talked about the BMW Championship that's happening at Olympia Field.
That's where the Illini host the tournament every year. Yeah, Olympia Field is gorgeous and hard.
So Brian Harmon and Roy McIlroy are up on top of the leaderboard at 5 under at this point. 2-hour rain delay yesterday. So Roy was talking about how soft the greens were and adjusting the roll on the ball and all of that. So you know how that goes, Stevie.
Yeah, that's all part of it because you can when it's soft, the golfers can go right at the pin, meaning they can get the ball very close, meaning they can make more birdies. So they like it when it's soft because those guys are so precise. They can stick it and put it in there for a birdie or eagle. So, yeah, that's good stuff. Rory McIlroy. I'm kind of a Rory McIlroy fan.
Okay, well, there you go. Mason Wynn has been called up, Lars Nootbaar, on the 10-day IL. So that's something we're noting since he was on our Cardinal Caravan and young at 21 on this 40-man roster now.
We have his interview that I conducted with Mason Wynn. We'll play that here in the next half hour.
So we'll get to Jeff Wilson very soon, just coming into our studio here at ESPN 93.5. I know Champaign County has a new superintendent with the Veterans Assistance Program, and with over 9,000 veterans in this area, this is really an important message we're going to hear.
All right, stand by. We'll do that coming up in moments. ESPN 93.5, check your weather coming up.
Hey, where are you headed?
To Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola.
What do they have there?
What don't they have there? Living room furniture, benches, chests, love seats, sectionals, tables, bedroom sets, hutches, nightstands, end tables, cabinets, mirrors, stools, clocks, lamps, pillows, rugs, desks, media consoles, patio furniture, Tempur-Pedic mattresses, and more.
So, everything.
Yeah, probably could have just said that.
Kelsey Furniture, quality for less.
Urbana's Market at the Square has been cultivating a vibrant scene in CU since 1979. Get to know your farmers bringing locally harvested honey, crafts, jewelry, art, fresh cut flowers, plus produce including fresh leafy greens and root vegetables, fresh baked treats, and a wide selection of proteins. Going on now, every Saturday, 7 a.m. till noon, rain or shine at Illinois and Vine, it's Urbana Market at the Square. Find Urbana Market on Facebook or urbanamarket.org.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign-Urbana this Saturday. A little change to those weather maps and charts with a late season heat wave to begin to build over the back end of the weekend and through a good part of next week in a largely drier setup. Meanwhile, it's going to be a historic spell of weather ahead later on this weekend and into much of next week as the either direct hit from Hillary or some remnant form of Hillary makes landfall to Southern California. First time that's happened in some 84 years, likely to set up flash flooding and severe weather over the southwest and building northward across the west in the days to come. Back this way for the day today, expectations of mostly sunny days worth of weather, close to 80 this afternoon. We'll level off tonight in the 50s, warm tomorrow to 85 with sunshine, a 93-degree high expected on Sunday as humidity climbs as well, and maybe an errant thunderstorm due in here for perhaps late Monday to Tuesday, and again late next week, otherwise daytime temperatures 90 to 95 degrees. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
There could be a lot of volatility on Wall Street with $2.2 billion in stock options expiring today. China's Evergrande is denying that it's filing for bankruptcy. The real estate developer says its application to the U.S. Court for Bankruptcy Protection is a normal procedure for offshore debt restructuring and does not involve a bankruptcy petition. The Chapter 15 filing comes 2 years after the company defaulted on its debt. The company's struggling to avoid defaulting on $34 billion in debt. Bitcoin drops to a fresh 2-month low. The cause of the slump is unclear, but a Wall Street Journal report claims SpaceX has sold its holdings of the cryptocurrency worth about $582 million, which it held in 2021 and 2022. It's not known exactly when SpaceX sold those holdings. And that's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lillian Wu, invested in you.
I'm Dana Perino, co-host of The Five and co-anchor of America's Newsroom. Join me for my brand new podcast, Perino on Politics. Listeners of Everything Will Be Okay will gravitate toward this podcast too. Every Monday, I'm going to talk to people I trust in politics as they tell me what they're seeing and thinking in the 2024 election cycle. As they prep me to cover the upcoming election, make sure you subscribe to this series on FoxNewsPodcast.com or wherever you download podcasts and leave a rating and review.
This podcast will debut Monday, August 21st.
Let Max Twin City Recycling pay you for your junk metal items. As the weather begins to heat up, now is a great time to put cash in your pocket for the steel, copper, brass, and aluminum items you've been meaning to get rid of. We've recently added a large concrete pad to make unloading quicker and cleaner for our customers. Visit us on North Lincoln Avenue, just north of I-74, or at maxrecycling.com.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Tapman's Towing, team of experienced tow professionals, is seeking others with CDLs, previous tow experience, and or strong interest in serving others. Please visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
Let Max Twin City Recycling pay you for your junk metal items. As the weather begins to heat up, now is a great time to put cash in your pocket for the steel, copper, brass, and aluminum items you've been meaning to get rid of. We've recently added a large concrete pad to make unloading quicker and cleaner for our customers. Visit us on North Lincoln Avenue, just north of I-74, or at maxrecycling.com.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
All right, we're talking veterans, we're talking PTSD, we're talking David Murphy, our new superintendent, Jeff Wilson, also on the county board. David, you're superintendent of what?
It's the Champaign County Veterans Assistance Commission.
Okay, nice voice here, fella. You want to go on the radio right now? Let's go right now. Jeff, get nice and close to your microphone. Jeff is on the county board, one of 5 Republicans at the moment.
One of the 5 Republicans on the county board.
Yeah. And there's 22 members, so
22 members.
You're kind of in a huge minority. So what we have is money that could be available to help veterans in Champaign County with PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. And so the money is going to be voted on whether they ought to allocate that. David, tell me about why we need that, and tell me about the veterans and the needs of PTSD in our county.
Well, there's a number of reasons why the veterans would need this assistance, and there's just a lot of the veterans, their families don't have the resources that the VA provides mainly to the veterans, and so a program that Jeff is talking about would be beneficial to the dependents, the family members of that veteran, to get assistance to see what's happening with their loved one who is suffering from PTSD.
Okay, so $165,000. There was a $40 million pool to pick from. Correct?
Oh, that's so right. So there's a 40. If you remember COVID back in the day, and there $40 million was allocated to our county to fund a lot of things. It could have been water, it could be government, it could be infrastructure.
Just to help through COVID.
To help through COVID, $40 million, and on the ticket, on the docket, is just a mere $165,000 to support veterans and their families through trauma.
Much.
No,
it's not very much. It's not. I mean, Jeff? Where does the money? I mean, give me an example of what I do with $2,500.
$2,500. So what we would do with them is we would provide them with support and resources with veterans that have PSD and their families and their spouses. As you know, there's about 20% veterans experience PTSD, and a PSD individual has a 60% chance of having an interaction with the law. And so supporting these...
Well, how many percentage?
60%.
Oh.
60%. And so in our county, we have 7,000 to 9,000 veterans. And our veterans, they need to be supported. And it's actually pretty shameful that the county board has not jumped to this effort to try to support the veterans for a mere $165,000.
Well, I wonder, is there a reason why? Because obviously we want to take care of the people. I mean, David, we want to take care of the people that helped us stay free. And maybe there's philosophical differences on the board about military in general. I don't know. But don't we need, David, to help people that really need help?
Well, yes. I mean, my position currently is helping veterans with low income in our community, in our county. We've assisted, my office has assisted with over $53,000 in rent and utility payments, but that doesn't help the veteran who is suffering from PTSD. So we're just trying to get the word out there that there's other programs that could be available for them.
And so Dave is like a super add to the county. Brad Gould retired. Dave's taken his spot. And Brad has done a wonderful job, and Dave is grabbing the bull by the horns to support the veterans in our community. There's about 40, 45 veterans per day that see you, right, Dave?
I have contact with between 40 and 45, different contacts with veterans throughout the day. That's correct.
And how do you know you're helping, Dave? I mean, do you see differences with when you're able to assist them?
Well, yeah. So one of the things that we do, like I say, is a low-income veteran that might be struggling to pay their rent, we offer them some assistance financially to get through to the next month, because sometimes that's really what they need, is just to get through one more month. We have other programs that we do as well. We help veterans file disability claims with the Veterans Administration. We've already helped 114 veterans this year getting things processed through the VA so that they can get their disability.
Well, I mean, great, but it doesn't sound like enough money for me. I mean, is this a one-time thing too?
Yes, right. So with David's on the Veterans Assistance Commission, and this is emergent needs for veterans in our community.
Yeah.
And it's a limited budget. It's about, what do you think, Dave, about $80,000 a year to support these veterans?
Correct. Outside of donations, we also do receive some donations, not very much so far, but we have received donations from individuals and organizations and groups within the community. But the county chips in $80,000 in financial assistance annually, and next year it should go up to $120,000.
Jeff, could you give me a kind of a couple of items, just as an example of the $40 million? This went to this, and this went, because I think $165,000, that's great. But again, if you're talking about, Dave, you're seeing 40, 45 people a day, that's going to go away really quickly. It's great that you can do something, but we've allocated $40 million in our county, and I could probably go through the list and say, what? That much for that? I mean,
well, you probably could. And just to clarify, there's two separate programs. One is the Veterans Assistance Program, which is emergent need for veterans in our community, and that's what Dave is in charge of.
Right.
The separate item with respect to helping veterans with PTSD is coming out of the ARPA bucket. The ARPA bucket, not out of the Champaign County budget. So Dave is funded by the budget of Champaign County, and the $80,000 is a carve-out of the general fund to support veterans per $80,000 per year. So this other bucket, ARPA, just real quick header, out of $40 million, $10 million goes to broadband.
$10 million.
Yeah, so that's 25%. $13 million goes to county department projects, whatever a county department project you want.
That would be roads, or what do we?
Well, no, that'd be like, helping with the sheriff's department and various departments within the county. And then there's $5 million goes to water infrastructure. And now that $5 million, really $2 million doesn't really go to water. So we're talking $165,000 out of $40 million. That's 0.4%. I really think the county board could.
Couldn't they give $9,800,000 to broadband and give $200,000 to the?
They could.
They could. I mean,
so,
what, $10 million? I mean, broadband's kind of a general deal too.
Well, it's super general, and really, so there's a carve out in the ARPA for community violence intervention, which is $4 million, and that $4 million is where the $165,000 should and could come from.
Well, but you're talking about community. That's fairly general too. When you're talking about DSC, Developmental Services Center. If I were governor, I would not cut budgets like that because you need people. They need help.
Yes, they do.
The veterans need help. I mean, why don't you help people that really have a hard time helping themselves?
Yes.
Would be one of my knee-jerk things to say. Why don't we take care of guys who served the nation? Kept me safe, and then they're struggling. Help them change their lives and their generational legacies.
Well, not only their lives, their family lives, their children's lives. And
it's a legacy. It's a ripple effect down the line. And you can put that under, violence and stuff, because if 60% of them get in trouble with the law, you're cutting that off early too.
Yeah. So again, there's like the two programs helping the veterans with PTSD, and then what Dave is doing, which is an awesome job. And what Dave is finding is there's just a matter of awareness, right, Dave? How many veterans even know that?
They don't know. Right. They don't even know about you. So we need to get the word out, Dave. We need people to know your name and the new superintendent, and that you're there to help.
Yes.
Correct. Yeah. So again, I'm David Murphy, and the address, we're in the Brookins building. If the veteran in our community wants to come see me or see someone in my office, it's 1776 East Washington Street in Urbana. And if I could give the phone number, it's 217-819-3556. And by all means, give me a call. Come into the office. We're open 8 to 4, Monday through Friday now. So just drop us a line and let us know what you need, and we'll be there to help you.
Dave,
what about online, David?
Yes, we do have a website as well. It's the Champaign County website, which is co.champaign.il.us. And we can be reached also through email, just D Murphy, that's MURPHY at co.champaign.il.us. And I can be reached that way as well through email.
Okay.
Dave Murphy, thank you and congratulations. And I hope you're able to help enough people.
Dave, you're awesome.
Thanks,
sure appreciate you.
Congratulations. Thanks again for being on, Dave.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Let's help the veterans. Jeff Wilson, thank you for coming in.
Yeah.
My pleasure.
I have video and audio from the last Republican picnic.
Oh, no. Yeah, crickets.
We appreciate your service on the county board.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. Instead of this coming January 2nd, as proposed by prosecutors, former President Trump's legal team is asking that his federal election conspiracy trial start in April 2026. Also arguing jury selection in December would conflict with a hearing in the federal documents case against Trump.
The former president's legal team argues, quote, the special counsel's actions appear to be intentionally motivated to prevent President Trump from meaningfully preparing for either trial and to simultaneously prevent him from running a campaign for president of the United States.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz. Hurricane Hillary on the way could cause flooding in the southwest.
By the time you get into Sunday evening, you are approaching Southern California. Those winds really start to drop off, but this is not going to be a big wind story. Ultimately, that system drags all the way up across into eventually the Pacific Northwest.
Fox meteorologist Adam Klotz. Stocks start the day lower on Wall Street. America's listening to Fox News.
Yeah, we're watching Wall Street, again, kind of a rough and tumble last few days on the markets. Well, Busey is proud to give back to its communities by doing the right thing for customers and building trusted relationships that span generations. In 21 and 22, Busey Associates generously gave over 20,000 hours of their time to hundreds of community organizations. Nearly 200 associates actively commit to board service in their communities. Since the inception of Busey's scholarship programs and partnerships with local universities, Busey has contributed $258,500 in scholarships throughout their footprint. Busey Associates have raised more than $450,000 through the Pay It Forward Fridays payroll deduction initiative. For more information about Busey's volunteer initiatives and charitable campaigns, you can check out Busey's 2022 Impact Report. You can get an idea of what's been going on there. This comprehensive document highlights the work Busey's doing for the associates, corporate sustainability practices, associate training, recognition, development. It's one of the top places in Illinois to work, by the way. To learn more on Busey, you can read the report in full. Go to busey.com/impact. Member, Busey, member FDIC.
Here's a look at local news. I'm Jim Miller. A downstate judge tossing out several lawsuits challenging Illinois' assault weapons ban. Suits filed by former Republican Attorney General candidate Thomas DeVore, who argued the law violated the Constitution. Tuesday's decision out of Effingham County comes after the state's high court ruled last week the ban doesn't violate the state constitution. State and local health officials investigating a cluster of 3 Legionnaire's diseases in Findlay. All 3 reported between July 30th and August 4. The Illinois Department of Public Health staff working with Shelby County Health Department to determine common exposures between the 3 cases. Illinois men's basketball releasing its non-conference schedule for the upcoming season. Illini holding an exhibition game against Ottawa October 20th before starting the season. November 6th at home against Eastern Illinois. Oakland visits November 10th before Illinois hosting Marquette November 14th. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather. Free Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana vicinity. Overall, pretty quiet weather picture from a rainfall standpoint. Not much in the offing here in the days to come. Coming off in some spots up to a quarter inch that we saw during the course of yesterday late morning. It's heat and humidity over the back end of the weekend, a good part of next week. Meanwhile, they're bracing for a direct hit of either tropical storm or Hurricane Hillary. The first time a named system will have made landfall in Southern California in some 84 years. They've been few and far between, but they do exist from time to time. That fetch of moisture will set up widespread flooding, rainfall, severe weather, flash flooding at that, not over the southwest and into parts of California, but a build northward across much of the west for next week. Mostly sunny, a bit cooler here for the day today in East Central Illinois. High temperature close to 80, clear, comfortable tonight, 80 bound down to about 55, that is. 84 tomorrow with sunshine, 93 as humidity climbs on Sunday, low to mid-90s ahead for much of next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. It's time to come home to Carpet Weavers. We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them. From waterproof floors and carpet to furnitures and design advice, we've got a team of experts on your side. We'll get you the best price and the best quality products. And complete your home with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing too. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
I've got to clean out this garage. Let's see. What's the cheapest and easiest dumpster service in our area?
Here's what I found. The doggy bag.
Think she's broken. I'm not looking for takeout. Siri, try again.
The doggy bag from Bulldog Disposal in Mahomet.
Doggy bag? What's that?
If you got junk that needs to go, but you don't want the hassle of having an enormous dumpster delivered, grab a doggy bag, keep it as long as you need. They'll come take it away. For more information, just visit bulldoggybag.com.
That's bulldoggybag.com.
Racing, racing, racing! Farmer City Raceway is your local award-winning dirt track with exciting Friday night lights illuminating the late models and modifieds going for the checkered flag for the win. Make arrangements to get in on the camping with great price points for pit passes and young fans, as well as veterans. Friday nights, the hot laps start at 6:30, then qualifying and racing action. Don't miss out on the fun at Farmer City Raceway. For details, visit farmercityracing.com. You'll buy the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
When you're looking for a business to work with, you choose someone local, someone who's terrific at what they do. A company that helps others in need in Champaign-Urbana, and a company that stands behind what they do. That company is Roof Doctors. Roof Doctors has been keeping the rain out for over 30 years. Randy and Tammy and their family work hard to not only make sure you're 100% satisfied by their work, but that they also strive to have a positive impact on Champaign-Urbana. Roof Doctors in Urbana, they make you their number one priority.
All right, so our Stever offer, I'm giving you an opportunity for free to go get a free facial. Somebody in your life wants that.
Yeah.
And then I'm also kicking in a $100 bill to buy product from Maryland over at Merle Norman, which is on Market View in Champaign.
So much excitement when I had my facial and the color analysis. You see people who really need to either blend it in on the edge of their cheek into their neck area, and with skin issues of any kind. She's almost a dermatologist of sorts. She's really helped me through some issues on my face, and has this 7 times magnified mirror where
7.
It is.
That's
you really get up close on those pores.
Yeah.
It's frightening. But she's used to that. She's used to helping people and working through anything. So it's a great kind of back to school reset. Maybe you got something special coming up. Maybe not. Maybe you just want to pamper yourself. Merle Norman at 706 West Market View Drive, 359-8100.
All you have to do is go to GoStever.com, free facial and $100 to spend. It's free. I'm buying that for you or your special someone. Just go to GoStever.com and enter. You'll get an email tonight if you're one of our winners. You have 7 days to set up the appointment, get it going. You have a survey at the end. That's it. It's Stever, GoStever.com. So we have the Cardinal Caravan, as we always do in January. Mason Wynn was one of the kids that showed up. He's 21 years old, but he is ranked super high as prospects. He's the Cardinals' #1 prospect, and he's just been called up to the big leagues to take the spot of Lars Nootbaar for a while. We'll see how he plays at shortstop, because that's kind of our shortstop of the future. Well, in January at the I Hotel, where we have our Cardinal Caravan, I caught up with Mason Wynn.
Mason Wynn has been talked about all over the minor leagues. AA, is that where you ended last season?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So how does a guy throw it 100 miles an hour?
You get a crow hop in there for sure. Yeah, no, I got me an extra crow hop in there on that one. I've been pitching my whole life, so my arms always stayed loose. I'm always long toss. So,
what's long toss do for a pitcher?
Well, I think it strengthens the arm. I mean, I think you lift, right? You do curls if you want bigger biceps. You're not going to throw harder unless you throw hard.
So Stevie J could throw long toss and still make it. I'm not old enough. I'm not too old. I could throw the knuckleball with a 68-mile-an-hour fastball.
Man, I don't know if you can make it, but you could probably add a few miles
So
an
long
hour.
ball's a good idea for kids.
100%. I mean, growing up, I didn't do any weighted balls. I really didn't do much. I mean, I really just threw every day. Not every day. I'll say I went to a pitching coach and was big on just mechanics. So I think, me getting your body to move the right way is probably the biggest key.
When did you switch to shortstop?
I actually played second base a lot in high school. So I played shortstop throughout, the summer circuit for USA and stuff. But majority of the time I played second base just because I pitched so much in high school. And then, I got drafted as a shortstop, and it just kind of made more sense to put me over as short with my arm than.
Do you like it?
Wasted a second. Oh, I love it. Shortstop is the prime position on the field. I mean, shortstop, center field, pitchers, they got to be the best athletes. So, I take pride in being out there and trying to be a back.
It's people have been buzzing about you. I just saw a survey yesterday, and I don't know if you even know this, but the scouts in baseball put you at 4th best defensive shortstop.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's kind of surprising to me because I feel like my first year I struggled a lot on defense, and then last year I definitely improved on it working with our guy Jose Oquendo. And I'm really hoping to just get better this year. So the fact that they have me rated highly already, I'm pretty excited.
That's pretty good. Yeah, it was all of baseball, and they had you at 9% said Mason Wynn, and the #1 guy was 14%. So you're 4th.
Let's go. I mean, that's perfect. That sounds great.
That gives you some encouragement, and you can hit, and you're an athlete. So I guess the time is you bide your time and be patient and get better every day. Is that how you look at it?
100%. I mean, putting on weight, getting bigger physically, getting better mentally. Just trying to surround myself with the best guys. I mean, guys like Jordan Walker, guys like Tink Hence. I mean, surround yourself with guys like that, and you're only going to be successful. So
they got Jordan Walker as the number one and you number two in the Cardinal organization. I mean, so does that encourage you? Does it put pressure on you? What do you think?
Oh, I mean, when it comes to those rankings, I mean, if I thought there was a competition, I'd probably be a little upset. But I mean, after playing with Jordan for the past 2 years, I mean, it's undeniable. In my opinion, he's probably the best player in baseball. I mean, in the minor league circuit, I would have him number one in all of minor leagues. So, I mean, organization-wise, it's not a surprise he's number one for us.
And you just focus on the development, be patient, all that stuff?
Oh, 100%. I mean, it's about time. I mean, we're young right now. You know, there's not much for us to worry about. I mean, we're 20 years old, pushing 21. I mean, we're only in a good spot. I mean, we're just gonna get better. You know, like I said, we're gonna mature. Obviously, I mean, he doesn't have much more to mature physically, but I mean,
he's 6'5", isn't he?
He's 6'6", 250. I mean, he's good. But
Is he quick?
Oh, he's about as fast as me. Yeah, it's crazy. Nah, he's a superhuman. It's crazy. It's not fair. Guys are gonna learn.
Well, are you going to spring ball? Are you invited in the 40-man? What's the status of that?
Not on the 40-man, but I am going to big league camp, so I'm excited for that.
People want to see you play.
Oh, I can't wait to play.
I think the Cardinals want to see you play.
You know, it's hard. I'm obviously a little biased towards myself, but, you know, we got some good guys. You know, Tommy Edman, Paul DeYoung. I mean, some real good guys for sure.
Mason Wynn, we're rooting for you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
It's earlier this year in January at the I Hotel in the Cardinal Caravan.
Two-way player out of Texas in the second round, 54th pick overall, elite fastball for a high school right-hander. Cardinals and Wynn felt that he could be a dynamic shortstop. And as far as his bat, it's been .228. It's 474 slugging percentage and .833 on base plus slugging percentage, on his way to a 2020 AAA season with 18 homers and 17 steals.
Yeah, I think he has better than .228 average. Okay. I think is that new, old? I think he was.
Look at the date on.
Yeah,
this.
I think he's up near high 280s, and he's had a really good year. So he'll get to play shortstop for the Cardinals probably tonight. Mm-hmm. So we'll get to check that out.
Because Lars Nootbaar is on the IL.
Yeah, and Tommy Edman will move to the outfield.
That's right.
And Lars is an outfielder, but Mason Wynn will get shortstop, and that's the reason we're watching the Cardinals right now, because it isn't for anything else. See, look at that young guy. 846 ESPN 93.5. Kelsey Furniture in downtown Tuscola sells Tempur-Pedic beds. What's it like?
I'm going to tell you right now, Stevie, that thing is the best thing I've ever slept on in my life. My wife and I both have said we've never had better night's sleep. And the people at Kelsey's were fantastic. Brian is the guy that helped us. You know, as much as I did my research, he has a world of knowledge about beds themselves. Oh, man, it's like sleeping on a cloud, man.
Kelsey Furniture, downtown Tuscola. PDR Automotive has now been serving the Champaign-Urbana area for over 50 years. To give you some perspective, 50 years ago ended the U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War, and it was when Secretariat won the Triple Crown. So what does that mean for you and your vehicle? Whether you need a carburetor overhauled or your new vehicle computer system diagnosed or programmed, PDR Automotive has the experienced, knowledgeable staff that can handle all your automotive needs. Online at pdrauto.com, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
Hi, this is Kirk Lehman with Aftershock Decals and Design. And right now we are looking for an honest, hardworking individual that wants a career with Aftershock Decals and Design. If you have any kind of experience wrapping vehicles, tinting windows, we want you.
You can't touch this.
No, not that kind of wrapper.
You can't touch this.
Please go to our website at aftershockdd.com, click on the Jobs tab, and send in your resume. We want you. AftershockDD.com.
You've changed thousands of diapers, played hours of peekaboo and duck duck goose because you do anything for your kids. That's why it's so important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow will help make it easy and affordable to help you protect your family no matter what the future holds. Because for the people you do anything for, life insurance could mean everything. Call State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow in Champaign-Urbana today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Well, good everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign, Urbana this Saturday. Little change to those weather maps and charts with a late season heat wave to begin to build over the back end of the weekend and through a good part of next week in a largely drier setup. Meanwhile, it's going to be a historic spell of weather ahead later on this weekend and into much of next week as the either direct hit from Hillary or some remnant form of Hillary makes landfall to Southern California. First time that's happened in some 84 years. Likely to set up flash flooding and severe weather over the southwest and building northward across the west in the days to come. Back this way for the day today. Expectations of mostly sunny days worth of weather, close to 80 this afternoon. We'll level off tonight in the 50s. Warm tomorrow to 85 with sunshine. A 93-degree high expected on Sunday's humidity climbs as well. And maybe an errant thunderstorm due in here for perhaps late Monday to Tuesday. And again, late next week. Otherwise, daytime temperatures 90 to 95 degrees. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Urbana's Market at the Square has been cultivating a vibrant scene in CU since 1979. Get to know your farmers bringing locally harvested honey, crafts, jewelry, art, fresh cut flowers, plus produce including fresh leafy greens and root vegetables, fresh baked treats, and a wide selection of proteins. Going on now, every Saturday, 7 a.m. till noon, rain or shine at Illinois and Vine, it's Urbana Market at the Square. Find Urbana Market on Facebook or urbanamarket.org.
Let Max Twin City Recycling pay you for your junk metal items. As the weather begins to heat up, now is a great time to put cash in your pocket for the steel, copper, brass, and aluminum items you've been meaning to get rid of. We've recently added a large concrete pad to make unloading quicker and cleaner for our customers. Visit us on North Lincoln Avenue, just north of I-74, or at maxrecycling.com.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Did you know the Anita Purvis Nature Center is a home for live animals? Stop by the Nature Center. View the turtles, owls, snakes, and salamanders. These were orphaned or injured animals who wouldn't be able to survive in the wild, but they help educate the public at the Nature Center. Sponsor an educational animal for as little as $15 a month. And make sure that animal has good food, housing, and medical care. For details, visit urbanaparks.org. Yes. Route 66, Asleep at the Wheel. Happening at the Virginia Theater tomorrow night.
Oh, boogie woogie.
I love this type of music. A little honky-tonk western swing. So, somebody contacted me yesterday, said they couldn't use the free pair I was giving them. So I suppose if you're like, yeah, I'd love to take my someone on a date night, you could text in Asleep, and then I'll switch out the name at the box office.
Kind of a last second offer.
That's right.
Okay.
359-2255.
Ever plan to motor west? Travel my way, that's
So probably 8 to 10 people on stage during this show.
Yeah.
They got a big sound.
On Route 66.
No, it's fun.
Hey, Jason.
Lottie wine from Chicago to LA on the way. More than 2,000 miles along the way.
All right, back to rap in a moment.
Calling all purse lovers and bag collectors. The high demand Cardinals purse giveaway is back and it's better than ever. On Saturday, September 2nd, 25,000 fans ages 16 and older will take home a Busch Stadium exclusive Cardinals purse thanks to Wells Fargo Advisors. This black handbag features a gold metal logo on the front and many upgraded compartments. Don't miss your chance to add this stylish purse to your collection. For tickets or info, visit cardinals.com/promotions.
Norm Miller here, chairman of Interstate Batteries. You know, without batteries, life would be pretty lifeless. That's why Interstate All Battery Centers carry them in every size, shape, and style so you can drive, drill, call, film, or do whatever it is you want to do. Stop in today. They've got the power to keep you going. Interstate All Battery Center. Outrageously dependable.
Interstate All Battery Center. You'll find them outrageously dependable just over Interstate 74 at 2504 North Mattis Avenue in Champaign, with batteries for most every application in stock.
What kind of bedside manner would you like your doctor to have? At Roof Doctors, they make sure you feel good about what they can do for you. They make sure they answer all of your questions and feel comfortable about whatever procedure your roof needs. Roof Doctors has helped customers for over 30 years. Randy and Tammy have helped make lives better in our community with their generosity and kindness. Roof Doctors is a company you can trust if you need anything done on your roof. Roof Doctors in Urbana, They make you their number one priority.
During challenging times, family and health come first. This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. Many of us have spent the past year feeling a little bit out of control. There are steps you can take to help plan for a better financial future. Now is the time to take action and create a financial plan that's right for you. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
BMW, Buick, GMC, Honda, and Subaru. Welcome to Sarah Champagne. We can handle all your car repairs on site, including paintless dent repair, bumpers, windshields, everything in between. We have an amazing selection of new or pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Shop from home and buy online or reserve your vehicle before it hits our website or dealership. Sarah Champagne is home of the Sarah One Price Promise, delivering an honest and transparent buying experience. Hurry in or shop online at sarahchampagne.com.
Hi, this is Chris Jackson with Kramer Siding and Window. And whatever your project, you can count on Kramer Siding to offer you the best products backed by the best warranties in the business and a lifetime of great customer service. And right now, you can save 10% on roofing, sunrooms, and decks, get 15% off gutter helmet, and you can save 25% on preservation siding, windows, and doors. So call today or visit us at kramersiding.com and let's get started on your project.
No, I can't. I mean, 2 weeks from tomorrow, I'm going to be at the Illinois football game, but I'm not going in the morning. I mean, 6:30 at night?
Well, if you're setting up the tailgate party, I mean, you're going to be there early to make sure.
Well, but that means you'll be there like 12 hours before the game starts.
It's a lot.
Yeah, I can't do that.
It's a lot.
I will be there, but chances are I'm looking at 3-ish. I'll be there about 3-ish. 2:30-ish.
3-ish sounds good to me.
Yeah. Well, by the way, diesel gas prices just went up 14 cents.
Oh, man.
Now, what that means to you is you'll pay more at Walmart.
Yeah.
So, because when the truckers have to pay 14 more cents, then your bread just went up a dime.
Oh, man.
Anyway, it's just what we're into, but the gas prices tend to be nudging up again, which is lovely. Anyway, yeah, 2 weeks from tomorrow, we're fired up. We should have tickets to give away all that week for Illinois. You have to come to Philo. Maybe come to Philo and see me. Mm-hmm. But we'll have tickets here.
And we'll have someone more at Pia's. That's September 1st, and it's 3 o'clock is when things start.
Yep.
Lots of different giveaways.
Yeah, 2 weeks from today, our first big broadcast. Wow. Live from Pia's. We have fun with Eric Meyer.
I know that. He just had a birthday this week, by the way.
38, 39,
something
40,
like that.
Something like that.
Same with Mike Lindemann at Body and Soul. Dave Ellers today.
Is it? David Ellers is a great guy.
Exactly. And he's helping organize that 50th reunion for those Unity Rockets. That's why Johnny has been in town this week.
Yep.
Are we good at 359-2255?
You're all good.
All righty.
Thank you, Diane.
Enjoy the weekend.
That's Diane Ducey. I'm Stevie Jay. Thanks for listening. Have a blessed weekend.
Join Fighting Illini football for a family reunion in Memorial Stadium on Saturday, September 2nd to open the 2023 season. Bring the whole family and enjoy the family fun in Grange Grove with bounce houses, face painting, live music, tailgating, and more. Get a family 4-pack of tickets for only $49 as the Illini take on Toledo on Saturday, September 2nd. Get your tickets at fightingillini.com.
Great to talk with Fayon about driving and delivering for Pepsi-Cola Champaign-Urbana Bottling.
Come home every day. It pays very, very well, especially for a truck driver. They're very understanding. It's just a great company all around. They're always eager to help. And you off on the weekends. The company in general is just a great company. Very family-oriented. Comes in, check on you, see if you like it. Always asking questions, trying to see if you need any help. Pretty dope.
Sound appealing? Join the Pepsi team. Equal opportunity employer. Visit PepsiColaCU.com.
Let Max Twin City Recycling pay you for your junk metal items. As the weather begins to heat up, now is a great time to put cash in your pocket for the steel, copper, brass, and aluminum items you've been meaning to get rid of. We've recently added a large concrete pad to make unloading quicker and cleaner for our customers. Visit us on North Lincoln Avenue, just north of I-74, or at maxrecycling.com.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Want unbeatable prices on your next furniture purchase, but also seeking that local hometown feel? Look no further than Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola. Customers rave about their friendly, established staff, as well as their great selection, amazing prices, and second-to-none delivery service. They're a third-generation local business, and they've always got your best interests at heart. Find the look you love for less. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, but always available online at kelseyfurniture.com. That's kelseyfurniture.com.
Crossroads Contractor Supply, bringing us our Stevie Jay Broadcasting Law Enforcement Official of the Month.
We just celebrate police because they ought to be celebrated, folks. Difference between anarchy and peace. We have Officer Chloe Folks. She is our Law Enforcement Official of the Month. She's at the Urbana Police Department. How do you stay positive when you see the bad guys all the time?
My coworkers, the family, the camaraderie we have, we're all there for each other. Our goal is to make sure everybody gets home safely at the end of the night or the day. It's really just the family atmosphere that keeps me going.
So if you see something not so good, you're able to say, shut it off?
Yeah, you got to have some kind of emotional detachment and separate work from home. It's hard sometimes. We have through EAP and different work things that we can have help us kind of through that. But like I said, it's really my coworkers that get me through it. And, we maintain a positive attitude just so we can help each other get home at the end of the day. And sometimes we face hard things, but we get through it.
Crossroads Contractor Supply, delivering within a 150-mile radius of Champaign-Urbana, supporting our Law Enforcement Official of the Month.
Hey, it's Stevie Jay. Time for another Stever. The Stever program is where I give you my money and you keep and use the stuff. All right, today from Merle Norman. All right, Merle Norman is, unbelievably great when it comes to makeup and your skin. Marilyn will help you. Now, here's what the offer is. I'm going to give you a free color analysis and I'll give you $100 to buy makeup from Merle Norman, made right here in America. In fact, made in Los Angeles. Marilyn is so good at what she does. So if you would like my $100 bill and a free color analysis from Merle Norman, all you have to do is go to gostever.com, and click accept. That's all you have to do. You have to make an appointment within 7 days, and then you have to fill out my survey as to how they did, how you liked working with Marilyn. Okay, Merle Norman, our Stever offer. GoStever.com, click accept. You'll get an email later on, late afternoon or evening, if you win. Rooting for you, GoStever.com, click accept for Merle Norman. You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.